We have continuing coverage tonight with an update on a lawsuit the owner of Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon says he intends to file. WENY's Alicia Solorzano spoke with Mark Longo this afternoon to learn more about the notice of claims and why he says he believes both human and animal rights have been violated. Alicia.
Renata, among other claimed violations, Mark Longo says he and his wife were not granted due process throughout the last several months in regard to having Peanut and Fred. After the DEC came to their house in October, the Longos say their house was torn apart, their companion animals were killed, and they were treated unfairly by officials. Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon were seized from Mark and Daniela Longo and euthanized on October 30th to be tested for rabies. Now the Longos are seeking justice for not only their beloved animals, but for themselves.
We want to know how these procedures were, that they failed. Why was I asked about cameras in my house? Why was I detained for 5 hours without being arrested? Why was my wife's immigration status questioned? Why didn't I get due process? Why was I silenced? Why was I intimidated not to use my phone?
The notice of claims indicate pending legal action against the New York State Attorney General's Office, DEC, State Department of Health, along with Chemung County, the County Health Department, Elmira Police, and Elmira Animal Control. Not only are the Longos claiming they and their animals were not granted due process, but they also say their First, Fourth, Fifth, and 14th Amendment rights were violated on the day their house was raided.
I don't want to take away the focus on Fred and Peanut. The justice is for these animals and moving forward to make sure. But that's a big thing for us. Is I've never been in trouble before. I've never been in the face of the law before, and then to have 9 people and 6 of them have guns show up to your house and detain you and falsely arrest you for 5 hours, it opens your eyes to how much this government is capable of.
According to Longo, issues began in May when he was first contacted by a DEC officer implying an issue with him having Peanut.
On May 16th, an officer reached out to me and told me that Peanut was no longer able to be in New York State and would never be able to be in New York State. And in which I replied, I'm going to be taking my wildlife rehabber's exam in August. And he stated that even with my wildlife rehabber's testing and certification, that I still wouldn't be allowed to have Peanut. And that's all so false.
Longo says they both passed the test and were waiting for things to be finalized when the animals were taken.
All we want is justice for this, and we want the viewers and we want the world to see, what changes can come from this.
WENY News also reached out to the Chemung County Attorney's Office and has yet to hear back. In the meantime, Longo says they continue to be thankful for the support they've received from the community. Renata.